What's going on, y'all? My name's Bless. I've been surrounded by hip-hop my entire life and literally grew up in the music business. Behind the scenes, beyond the music, the industry, and the streets, these are our stories. Join me as we explore the culture that defined our generation. This is the Moment of Truth. Once referred to as the Kid Famous, perhaps now he's just famous.
Yeah, just famous.
Please welcome Famous.
Famous was popping, Bless.
Welcome, brother. Welcome.
What's popping? What's good?
Thank you for joining us, my brother.
Yeah, it's crazy to hear like straight from Toronto because it's like I haven't been in Toronto for probably 6 years.
Well, that's why
and
you're
then
here.
like to shock people like, where you been? Well, I've been in Taiwan, and then they think Thailand. How's it out there? You know, and it's like Taiwan, and Taiwan is a whole other world. It's like this little island south of Asia, you know, and I've been there 6 years.
How did you go from being, to my knowledge, you were always one of the main cats in the Toronto hip hop scene, doing his thing with, of course, guys like JD Era and and Boy
Kids.
Wonder and Rich Kid. And, everybody, I feel like we all came up in the same kind of era, Bishop, and I always knew you as being one of those names that would always pop up, and we met many times over the years. How did you transition and end up in Taiwan?
Man, I did a show. My man Dio. Everybody shout out to Dio.
Incognito.
Dio Northstar. No, D.O.
Oh, D.O. Yeah, D.O. Bald
right?
Cat.
Yeah, so D.O. put me on to this Asia game. He was doing like these tours, doing like these festivals through the grants and what so have you, right? And he was doing a show. He was like, yo, Fame, I'm doing a show in Singapore, Hong Kong, and Taiwan, and I want you to just come along and like take it in, feel out the vibe. One of his homies from, I think it was Sarnia, like from years ago, ended up out there. So he already was situated, working things out. So Dio was able to get these shows out there through him, right? So I said, all right, yo, I'm down. Went down for the show, did the 3 shows, and I was in Taiwan, and I did an MC thing. At that point, I was just rapping in English, right? So I did a show out in a place called Brickyard in Kaohsiung, and I just loved the vibe. Like the vibe was really cool.
They're very into underground hip hop. They're very into
any hip hop. Like,
anything North American. They just crave.
Eminem, Dr. Dre, and Snoop would be there.
Basically, Quebec in 2001. That was the extent of the commercial hip hop scene.
Yeah, and so I did a show out there, and I didn't want to come back. So the booking agent worked with the club. I got a 1-year permit to stay out there for a year.
Host nights and shit.
Yeah, so, I did like performances for this club. And I was doing MC for them. And then I was like, when I started MC, I'm like, I can't MC for these DJs. I didn't think they were representing hip hop right. So I bought me a little controller, one little Christmas. Spent my time just practicing.
You were at my house doing it.
I was like,
you got on your Will I Am.
Exactly.
Fame, you were at my house.
I'm the DJ now. So it went from 1 year to 2 years. I didn't, the winter is the biggest thing for me. Like I tell anybody right now, if you ever experience a full year without winter and you see what your life's like.
It's life-changing, yeah.
Oh, it's life-changing, right? And for me, I was more about life. I wasn't the music was good to me, but we came at a time where, if you were an MC, you actually watched being an MC being dope to being an MC meaning nothing. Like the words you're saying mean nothing. And that shit fucking hits as an artist when you put so much into your words and then it means nothing. Like nobody's even listening to the triple entendres or nothing, right? So when I was out there, I was just living, and they don't really understand anything I was saying, but they connected with the music, and the sound and the vibe and the show I was putting out and the performance, right? And I've been there ever since, man. I got a radio show out there. I hustled a radio show. Fuck, bro. That shit's crazy for me. Going down there as a rapper and then hustling a radio show on Taiwan's #1 English radio station.
That's dope.
Called The Party. I called it The Party with the Party King Famous. So I took the Kid Famous to the King Famous, but at the Party King.
Dope.
So that was my hashtag gimmick per se. Black guy with the muscles who comes, he has the energy, and he's the party kid and he's known to party and everybody loves him.
That's it.
And that's the shit. And I branded that and I've been there ever since, man.
Bringing that T.O. vibe to Taiwan, from T.O. to Taiwan.
T.O. vibe.
From T.O. to Taiwan. Yeah. So you used to be, Lemmy was telling me off camera, you used to be on Flow back in the day.
Yeah, man. I worked for 6 years. That was my end. I wasn't even famous when I started there. And then I started with the 60 Seconds of Fame on OTA Live, right? And then I got a little name through that. And then the music was being played on, the station was showing love. And I went from intern. It was crazy the way it worked because my man Rez, when I first started, I was an intern for Rez. And then Rez got the OTA live on air position and the street team position opened up. And that's how I got my in. And that took like 3 years.
This is when Flow first started getting going?
Exactly,
Early.
right? So like 3 years, I wasn't making no money. I was just the intern. And then boom, I stuck in there. I got the street team position. Then, you know, I created my own position of street team coordinator. So then I was on the streets. That was my shit. So I'm on the streets connecting with the communities, the leaders, all that stuff, but I'm still the artist. So, you know, everything was working out.
Great way to make contacts.
Right?
Anybody would come through the city, you'd get to
right.
hook up
You
with
know,
them.
and then that's when I said, okay, yo, let me do this rap thing. Because for me, I always knew I could rap. It was just the whole business behind it. Plus, when I first moved down there, was on an internship at Universal Music in Toronto.
Yeah, of course.
So I went to Trebas
Shout out
Institute
Ivan.
in Montreal, right? Trebas Institute in Montreal. Jane McGarrigle, this Jewish lady who just loved me. We connected so good. She said, I know Randy Lennox, the president. I don't know if he's still president.
Randy Lennox, of course.
He's still president?
I mean, he's still. I don't know if is Randy still
He
at
sends a
Universal?
proxy.
I think so. I think so.
Well, yeah, so she put my resume on his desk on the Thursday. I got the call on the Friday. I moved out. I started on the Monday. My parents, my family were on vacation.
So, are you originally from here?
Yeah, I'm originally from Montreal.
I remember you mentioning that to me at the Stylist Awards.
Yeah. Texas is
from
LaSalle.
LaSalle. Yeah, of course.
You know, till maybe like 8. And then I moved over to the West Island. Spent, you know, my college years and high school years in the West Island. And then came down to Toronto. And Toronto, like, man, I felt like at home when I landed. Like, a lot of people would be like, yo, Fame, you know, Lemme-Kno's mom is the #1 person. Like, Lemme-Kno's mom, whenever I say, yo, I'm back in my city, Toronto, she'll be the first one to say, you know, your mom is in Montreal, your home is Montreal. Like, she'll be the first one. And it's like this thing where it's like I separate Ashton from famous. Like, Toronto made famous single-handedly. The minds, the man, the everything made famous. Ashton is wherever my blood is, my
Your
family,
roots.
my mom, wherever home is wherever my mom is. You know, that's how I see it. So it's like I separate the two, but by no means am I taking anything away from Toronto. Toronto made famous. I am so appreciative of Toronto. It's my favorite city in the entire world. Everywhere I'll go, I'll rep Toronto because I think it represents me. You know?
Fame, I have a question though.
Yeah.
You were there right before it popped off. Right before that,
Toronto
like,
popped off.
Yeah, that heat
I
wave.
was there. I think Toronto at that time was the greatest thing. Like the
Right.
Stylist Awards. Like there was so much going on. It's crazy because you think at that time
Give a year. Give a year.
Oh man,
It was
2004.
Okay.
City Is Mine came out. Like just the whole vibe of how things went. Hearing the beat, then hearing about this Boy Wonder guy, and then Boy Wonder making beats for people, and like then T Minus, and then Cardi had his thing with Akon, right? This was about the time when Cardi and Akon had Dangerous, right?
Right.
So that was the song that was bubbling. Everybody thought like
Shout out to Chemo who produced that from Vancouver.
right? So you see, that was the time when everybody was like, that was gonna be the one.
Right.
Right? And then I'm Still
Drake.
Fly came out.
Sorry?
I'm Still Fly with
Drake
Paige
record.
featuring Drake, right?
Right.
And that was the one where I felt like everybody thought this is like, I remember working the clubs and emceeing and like seeing the vibe when that song came out. And like, that was the one that I say put Toronto on the map. Now, I want people from Toronto to, maybe I might be wrong. If it's not that City Is Mine was nice by Drake, right? And you could say...
You're talking about Drake records or overall
well, this
Toronto
is not a Drake
hip-hop
record.
scene?
This is a Page record.
Originally, yes, I know.
Produced by Boy Wonder with Drake
Yes,
on it, right?
yes. But I just mean, you're talking about in relation to Drake or like the scene?
I think the scene. It was the one where...
But Cardi had big joints 10 years prior to that. Big ones. But maybe they were
I'm
only
saying
big regionally.
For the city. Hold on. Cardi did have big ones.
Cardi had some fucking big ones. Even Choclair had a couple big ones that Little X directed.
City Is Mine.
Can I interject for a sec though?
Right.
I think you're right as far as big records, but putting Toronto on the map and making it like a world-class hip-hop city, like, you know, the way like it started in New York,
But
then it went to LA, and then it was like in Atlanta for a little bit.
I'll tell you
I
a
think
story.
Toronto owns it right now.
When Kanye dropped Jesus Walks, he did Much Music Awards first year. I don't know if you were there. I went with Kanye and his manager and all these guys to Inside Lounge back in the day when Travis had it. and Cardi showed up, and Kanye gave him mad love. So Cardi had already, you know, done records with Pharrell, even pre the Akon shit. I agree to you, the pinnacle was probably that record with Akon, like worldwide for Cardi, but he was, you know, he was the guy for quite a long time, and then undebatably Drake blew the doors off. But the transition was that year, which ironically was the last time we did something together, which was when Guru passed away, the Stylist Awards.
The Stylist Awards.
I did the speech, and then we all did a tribute, you, JD era.
Yeah, the joke is I forgot the lyrics to that. I don't know if they got that on camera, but if you check on YouTube, hopefully this boosts a little plays right now. But I forgot the last like 4 bars, but I freestyled it. I made my way out. Did you catch that?
I don't think I did because you know what they told me? They told me last minute that I was going to do a speech. So I'm literally backstage saying, what's up to you guys, writing a speech for my brother, and you don't want to drop the ball on that. But I wish they had told me a week before. I would have came super prepared.
Yeah, they gave me like a week to do it too, you know? And I caught the vibe. I mean, yo, Grooves, you know, that's hip hop royalty. I know that's your G too, right?
No, I mean, they told me on the spot that that I was doing a speech. The lyrics to the gangster.
So you had to write the speech
on the spot.
Oh shit!
So that's why I wasn't paying attention to what anybody else was doing. But the lyrics to the gangster, I was his hype man for years, so I knew everything.
But you see, hold on, was that about the time when I'm Still Fly came out?
Exactly.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, when I say for that record, this is not saying it's the biggest record. I'm saying
Drake was there.
As somebody being in Toronto, and seeing like the kids and seeing what was going on with the community of like cool kids. That record was the one that like you weren't hating on it. You know, Cardi kind of always had this vibe where you just love Cardi stuff, right? But it's not like, you know.
It was a local love.
Exactly. It was a local love, and it also wasn't considered like hip hop per se. You know, like.
Well, he was repping
it was more Toronto,
the West Indian
West Indian vibe, right?
Vibes
but as far as like a rap hip hop song, like that sounded like I'm Still Fly, that would have been what I thought was like, I felt, boom, this was the time.
Well, if you remember, Drake was also there presenting with us that
I do
day.
remember.
And I feel like that was his...
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That was the time.
That was his moment where I think he came back to T.O. and he was like, I did
I'm
it.
here. I did it. I showed up to this.
Boy Wonder was there. I remember. Everybody was there.
I remember. That was a good one, man.
Yeah.
I see pictures of that I post up on my memories all the time.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So... when did you start being really active as an MC in the scene? What year around?
Probably
05, 04?
2000. I know this is how it goes. So 2008, I said I rap now. And 4 months into it, I was nominated for a Juno.
Can we talk about that story? The I rap now part?
Yo, the I rap now. I mean, yeah, I rap now was... Oh, right? I rap now. Oh.
Bless doesn't know this one.
Bless,
explain, tell us.
So the Juno nominated album, I Rap Now, the title of it came from this guy right here.
Wow. Full circle moment.
Right?
Yes.
Lemmy finally gets his just dues.
1 out of like 50 workout.
I Rap Now. We did a freestyle. We were like, you know, that's what we do, man. Like back in the days, we did it for fun. So we'd go into the booth and do freestyles. And he had this rapping that day. And he's like, I rap now. And it was like, he was like...
The bar was, I rap now. I just say what's on my mind. And it was the end of the verse. And Fame comes in. He's like, I want it. I'm like, no one knows this. We're fucking around.
Now.
I'm like, it's yours.
I turned it into a website, a Juno nominated album. I rap now.
The guy made probably 10 grand off.
It made so much sense because that's at that point that's what it was. Like Famous was the radio guy, the street team guy, and I was like, boom, I rap now. You know, I had my whole marketing behind it. Me and my bro Rez, like at that time, like.
The cover art, hold on, Fame. The cover art
was like, you know, being the intern, being the McDonald's person, being the 9 to 5, right? But that's not what I wanted. I rap now. And the person who did the art, Brian Brock was like, I was working with like the hottest at that time, you know, Hustle Girl, Brian Brock, the video. Who do we have doing videos, man?
Your Goddess Girl videos were dumb.
Fuck, just, yo, the city was, you know, I remember being in the basement with Boy Wonder and T-Minus the day I was introduced to T-Minus at their mama's house. Like, yo, that shit, just to watch what's happened with the city.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, it's a beautiful thing. You know, people say, do you think it's bubbling? Do you think Toronto's bubbling?
Of course. I mean, it's undeniable. And, you know, it was crazy because it took a lot of groundwork for it to explode the way it did. Because people who weren't part of the scene like us, who were maybe, stateside or whatever, or who maybe were just stuck in that Montreal mentality, who weren't coming to Toronto all the time, like I was, and obviously you were living there, they didn't realize that there was such a vibrant scene in Toronto from the Ivan Berry days, from the Beat Factory days.
I learned
there was farm teams of rappers, and they were nice, bro. And we had our own industry for like almost 2 decades until Drake went and stamped it. It was like, and I think, and I always say this, the pride for, the Raptors, and, it was all a long time coming.
Yeah, but I think it's all timing.
It was just timing.
Perfect sense.
I mean, you remember when Apple was running around doing his thing with I'm Not a Rapper?
It was a beauty. It was a beauty.
I used to run around with those guys, and, we'd shoot the little Hood Smack DVD style videos in the alley behind the store. And
that was French's thing at that time, those type of DVDs.
We were doing that in DVDs. 04, like coming out to my people, like shout out my people in Regent Park. They would host us lovely, pull the Hummers out. J.R. Ryder came down from New York. We shot a video.
All those,
we come down Carabana. We were killing it. You know what I mean? And that's when I originally started seeing Drake at some of the first Stylist Awards, because I was always cool with Click. And Click was one of our first
Click
interviews.
was one of my managers when I was at Universal.
Click came on early on the podcast.
One of our first guests, fame.
That's my guy. That was the guy I had to report to at my internship at Universal.
Bingo, makes a lot of sense.
And Ivan
Evidente. Shout out Ivan.
Randy. Who else? Carrie was my favorite. Carrie Riley. And then I went over to I was at Sony BMG. Like I worked the labels too as an intern. Like that was my thing. It was so crazy because I was put in these positions. Like I'm at the label interning. I'm at the radio station interning. I'm learning the business. Might as well try a rap thing.
Of course, why not?
And that was it. But now, like, I find DJing is crazy because I would say for sure my career has boomed way more as a DJ in Asia. Like, and that to me is like when you think back about it, it's like, damn, that's just fun because I'm still creating. I'm still having fun.
Don't you think that a big part of that might be the groundwork that you did as an artist that gives you the persona and the what's the word I'm looking for, Lemmy? The presence, to be able to really do your shit confidently and take control of a crowd.
It was like this wake up call where it's like I was like, boom, I did all this, and like my account's still looking like this.
Switch it up. You're a hustler.
And that's how quick that shit was. It was like, so you mean to tell me I could do all this, get all these achievements, right? And I'm still looking like this? Like, cool, everybody thinks I look cool. Everybody thinks this shit is what, but I'm looking at the reality of things and being like, okay, And the most money that I'm making is off MCing, like being in a club MCing, like the rap. And this is at a time where like you're selling CDs. Like this is not when music was streaming back then, right? So it's like when you're thinking about that stuff, you're like, okay, let me try a ting. And then I tried a ting, Like I like to say I tried a lot of tings to see what really worked.
Sure.
And now I'm in a place where now I do shows. I might perform 3 English songs. I rap in Chinese, bro.
Get out of here.
I got a Chinese rap album out right now on KKBox on Spotify.
So, whoa.
I'm rapping in Chinese.
Rewind.
Yeah, this is
how
real
the fuck
shit.
Were you able to pick up enough of the language to be able to?
I've been out there 6 years, right? Yeah. And then you also got to think, like, if you're thinking about, let's just think about
it's a fucking
English
hard language.
Let's think about English rap.
It's not French though. It's a hard language.
It is a hard language, but also it's like melodies to things, right? So in the Chinese language has tones. So my tones are probably off, but at the end, it's like when you listen to a Migos song. Like, what are you really understanding?
Bro, do you know how marketable a black dude rapping in Chinese is to the Asian
That's why it was done. That's why the album was done. So when I go out there, I'm performing Chinese raps, English raps. I'm DJing and MCing, I'm jumping all across the place.
And there's billions of people all over Asia.
So I'm good.
And
bro.
I feel like now with social media and the internet, and everything. Shit is so small.
Right. So small.
They're into the fucking Supreme and the fucking hype beast shit more than we are.
Oh, yeah,
So they really get the culture. I would say they might be ahead in certain ways.
As a consumer?
As a consumer, yes.
Correct.
I mean, I remember always being told by like the New York guys back in the day, like, you know, Big L used to go out to Japan and get stupid
Japan
money.
is,
you know what I mean? They would buy
yeah.
up fucking, you know, DVDs and cassettes like $60 a pop.
It's knowledge of
you couldn't bring enough.
It's the culture. Imagine that's what you idolize, what you see is actually there.
Yes.
You know, you're living with somebody who's experienced it.
Especially with streetwear, I always see these guys in Japan are they're collecting the vintage North Face. They're getting the rare kicks. They really get it. You know what I mean? They're students of the culture.
They're hype beast kids. And they got the money too, you know?
I think money has a lot to do with it too, right?
Definitely does. Definitely
well, also being the place that, you know, spits out and, you know, counterfeits a lot of the shit, gives them unprecedented access to the samples and all that shit ahead of time. That shit's like, they have whole, I mean, you could probably tell us more. I've seen they have whole fucking villages just dedicated to knocking off a certain shoe.
Oh yeah, man, it's real out there. Yeah, it's real.
Crazy.
I always tell people always spend their money going on trips to here and there. I'd say go visit an Asian continent.
Yeah.
Most of them are, I mean, Taiwan I could vibe for. It's the vibe.
Right.
Well,
So
if you
that's
like noodles and massages, I think you
for the low, you know.
and we won't talk about any other obvious things people might like out there. So you find yourself in Taiwan. Have you moved around Taiwan? Did you stay in the main city?
Yeah.
What's the big city there?
The big city's Taipei, so that's
Taipei.
north side.
Okay.
Right. So at first my contract was just down south. Then I started building with people, met more people. Shout out to my man Marcus Aurelius. He was like a big help for me out there. But like just mingling with the right people. And the country, it's a small island, so you could go from north to south in 2 hours. So like that's what I do now. And then the thing is to travel within Asia is extremely cheap. Right? So like you could book gigs in other countries and not have to include a hotel in your rider. Like I'm literally just going out there performing and coming back.
Like Europe vibes almost. You
know
can jump on a train and come back.
And like these countries need that. They want that. They're looking for that. Like
that's dope.
That's the thing with Asia. People don't know. It's like they're looking for that. In China, they literally you sign contracts. So you'll do like a 3-month contract. You're in the same place. You do the same shit. You rap your same songs. Like you're part of the show. And then after you is the go-go girls. Then after you is the gymnasts. And it's like the biggest show. Money everywhere. They fucking tip you. I did a tour with Budweiser, right? It was 11 shows in 22 days or something like that, right? And it was their Christmas thing. And like, yo, it's a whole other world. It's like literally a show, and I'm like 1 hour of the show. And the amount of money that goes into it and the amount of money that's spent.
It's crazy.
Oh, bro. And it's like comfortable money. Like comfortable. But then what gets me is like, we come from a culture where like, you either have it or you don't. You either got that swag, that gusto, or you don't. I don't need none of that to get anything. Like I got that. Whereas
we come
out there,
from
it's
that
like,
culture.
You know, it's a bit different. Like these guys got hella money, but it feels like it's not real.
Like it's robotic.
Yeah, it's like, you know.
I won't lie. Our big comment, like when we used to come out there, me and Guru would come out to Toronto and, you know, we'd fuck with Neil, Neil Forrester and all these guys. And bro, they would host us amazing. Barb from Lynx. And but we always had the best time. But early on, it felt like Toronto was still stuffy. Like, you go, a lot of people don't realize back in the day, they wouldn't even let you pop a bottle in a club. It was like against the Ontario liquor rules. Really? Like, oh yeah, bro. We would come out there like in the early 2000s and we'd be like, yo, like we want a bottle of Goose. And they'd be like, yo, sorry, we don't serve bottles. Like the permits aren't for that. They caught up real fucking quick. Don't get me wrong. And I've partied a lot in Toronto and we popped a lot of bottles out there. But once upon a time, shit was closing earlier and we used to feel like the explosion of Toronto, that it would like the clubs were beautiful, the money was there, but the vibe was, you didn't see people jumping on the table like in Montreal and getting super lit. It just wasn't the culture. And then once that cash injection came, bang, sky's the limit. And now Toronto's ahead in many ways.
Yeah, I don't really party as much other than Caravana when I head out there. I do some parties.
Caravana
was once a year ridiculous. You come to Toronto. That's when I get to see you.
Yeah.
And you get LeBron James for a weekend, then you get to hang out with me.
The LeBron James party, usually daytime, and that's it.
I went there 3 years ago when they did the All-Star Weekend.
Okay.
It was the coldest week
Oh, yeah,
I've
I
ever
remember
been
that.
to.
How dirty was
I remember
that?
But it was
I remember
amazing.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
amazing. We did a party. We went to a Snoop party. Fab was, everybody was there.
Yeah,
you can
everybody was
imagine.
there.
Were you in town fame for the All-Star weekend? I
Yeah,
forget.
yeah, I was there.
I feel like you were.
Yeah, I was.
You hosted some things.
Yeah, it was a movie.
Yeah, it was a fun time in the city. Toronto has fun times, man. Plus, we're the champs. It's crazy how I say where. You see, I say where, and I'm talking like where, and I'm in Montreal, and I'm from Montreal, and I'm saying where. Shit, judge me. You know, like,
It's where your heart is at.
Oh, what
It's
hat
where-
am I wearing? I'm
it's
wearing
where
a New
your hat
York
is
hat.
at.
Oh, you're wearing a New York hat. That
Hello,
shit like
hello, fame.
fuck, man,
You see
yeah.
that?
Right. So
I'm
you
wear-
see, it's like you wear what you fucking wear.
Well,
I'm a
home
Knicks-
is where the heart is.
I'm a Knicks fan.
Yeah.
And where your mother is.
Yeah, home is exactly.
Home is where your heart is. And you know, how do you feel the scene changed in Toronto? I know last couple of years you've been overseas,
it's-
but from your perspective, from being an artist, from working behind the scenes in the business, from the time Drake got on, there was this narrative that as soon as Drake got on, Toronto's on.
Right.
And I think that was very untrue because
yeah,
Drake
for
was
sure.
killing it globally, and
Right.
Toronto was still Toronto.
Right.
And I think
But
it's
then you had a weekend. You had a next, a next.
of course. But that was all like you said, timing. I think
Right.
that was inevitable.
Right.
But the pride
Right.
for the Toronto scene started to shift.
Right.
Where mans were happy to wear Toronto Raptors
yeah,
gear,
yeah.
not just the Yankee fitted like we
Yeah,
always
yeah.
wore. How did you see that shift? How was that energy? What was that like?
Well, remember, so a lot of times the last 6 years I've been seeing things from the outside looking in, right? So
Well, that's it.
I pay little attention to everything, right? And for me, when I'm looking at things from the outside, I see shit just the same. I don't see nothing changed. And if I talk to like people who are in it, they'll tell me the same shit. Ain't nothing changed, right? So that's really how I feel. And sometimes I'll be looking at artists and like, man, I think the major thing is like, fuck, nah. I guess we just all got hope,
Right.
right? We all got hope. So if you're still doing it, you're doing it because you got hope,
And
right?
fame.
Or
Well,
no?
I think
Are you still rapping?
yes. I'm
Are you
still
putting out
rapping.
albums and stuff?
I'm preparing a project now. I put out a bunch of different shit. I put out a couple joints with Fred the Godson, with Vado, with Static Selector. I'm still passionate about it, but I produce with another cat with my partner, Mano Sound Machine. So, you know, I always stay close to the business. This is my
Right.
lifestyle. I don't know anything else. And one of the us venturing out was the podcast. Was
Right,
this,
right.
We have a fucking great podcast.
was
Is what we have.
this absolutely
Yeah,
you know?
which I think, yeah, it works.
And it was a platform that I wanted to build for the city,
Correct.
where I could curate and Lemmy could curate who we really felt deserved to be covered, not based on numbers,
Right.
not based on who I get along with,
Right.
or who's my homie, or who might have
Just a
rubbed me the
platform.
wrong way.
Right.
A legit platform where if you deserve to sit here, we want to fucking hear what the fuck you're up to. You know what I'm saying? We want to hear what you're up to. Because for too long in our city, it was always like the French is here, the English is here, Uptown is here, Texas is here, DG's here.
Right.
This guy's cool with that guy, but my producer didn't get along with your DJ. Fuck all that.
Right.
Because inclusiveness is the only way to build a scene.
Thank you.
And Toronto
Thank you.
caught on to that a lot earlier than Montreal, and Montreal would be much more ahead if everybody was on that page.
So so is this like a Toronto-based thing? Because I'm very interested in hearing about the Montreal scene. Because like,
You mean the
I-
podcast?
no, like the Montreal hip hop scene during that same time.
Yes.
Toronto,
Yes.
was going through something like. What is the Montreal hip hop scene? I really didn't know it much.
The Montreal equivalent, I would have said, was the French starting to bubble.
Correct, right,
Which
French.
was always there because the demographics are well suited to French culture.
Right.
And as the Ontario, Board of Grants, gave it to artists who had certain criteria,
Those
like
factor grants are going out to only
right?
French
The
artists.
French side was benefiting from that here,
Right.
and the English was always falling between the cracks.
Right.
I was fortunate enough to not be totally dependent on that system
Yeah.
because I was always either stateside or on a label here in Canada.
Right.
I was through EMI for many years, and I had all kinds of different shit going on.
Right.
But
Montreal.
that brought me to something I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah.
What was your experience like with the grant system and all that shit? Speak to us about that.
Same thing. Like I think I went like 1 for my first 3. So I got it like first, second, no, third, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I started with Ain't No Use. That was the first video. And then so I could say I got used to it, but then because I was like, my odds were pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I got another one, right? And my odds were pretty good again. Like I'm 2 for 4.
And when you say another one, it's G's, right? Like
Yeah, it's like
this is funding.
20,000. It's 20,000.
And is that funding in the project? Is that paying your rent? Like how do you
No,
distribute
it
those
goes
funds?
to the video.
It's the video.
Yeah,
Oh, you're
man.
just talking about video grants. But
Yeah,
there was
video
also for
grants.
sound recording, marketing, all that
Oh
other shit
yeah, I
too.
mean, yeah, I got like a few web,
Right.
to design my website.
I found
one.
the website grants were the easiest.
Yeah.
But when you would go for that factor for the big one, I think it was 35K
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
sound
Those
recording.
were going to Belly, man.
Bro,
Belly was
right.
and Keisha Shante was eating those.
I got refused by 0.07. Basically, it's a grading system.
Right.
And let's say you have to have a 93 to get, on all their scores. I had a 92.8.9 by a 0%.
So you didn't receive it.
By
didn't get
literally like not even a hair.
Yeah.
To the point where the guy who was applying, he was on, he worked with the Juno committee, all this stuff. He said, I'll just reapply and do all the paperwork for free because this is crazy.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? But I feel like those grants were being reserved for specific labels
Right.
and shit like that at the time.
I thought what that did for me, like David Muir did a lot of my videos and he got the big grants. And what happened was, it's like, those guys are still hungry. So even though they're taking that budget that they got with you on that grant, they're still willing to work with you on their own little thing where they're not using all that equipment that they're renting for. And that's what we did with our guys. Because, we didn't get the grant, but now we have a relationship with these guys and we're going out doing it ourselves, learning. And at that point, technology was bubbling, cameras, then things started. Now I'm shooting videos on my iPhone. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So it's like, that's how we went as far as grants. If I got a grant, I got a grant, but I never relied on it.
Yeah.
But I was like 2 for 4 on my first ones.
That's nice
and
numbers.
now that was like,
Yeah.
that does help you out.
Sure, absolutely.
It helps you out.
Absolutely. It was just a shame that a lot of the times the video grants I found were awarded to big production companies.
Right.
So the artists didn't get to really
Yeah,
eat
yeah,
off of it
right.
almost at all. But we had some beautiful videos, and shout out to the
Yeah,
Canadian Arts
exactly.
Council.
You had some great videos back
Nobody
in the
was
day.
Yeah, man.
complaining.
Yeah.
Big
We
budget
did some
shit.
good videos. Like I was putting out a lot of videos back then. Yeah.
I like Trinity Chris. That was mine.
Big Man Things.
Big Man
That was when I
Things.
quit my job at Champ Sports.
There you go.
Were you working at the one across from the Eaton Center?
Scarborough Town Center.
Shit.
Bro, that was my first experience coming to Toronto. That when I had that interview at Universal Music, the bus dropped me off at Scarborough Town Center, and I fell asleep on like a couch because the mall was closed. And when I woke up, I just see like colored people, different colors everywhere. And I'm like, yo, what is this? Like, this is a vibe right now. Like, everybody got their own definition. Everybody defined themselves. And I'm looking at it, I'm feeling good. And then I went into Champ Sports to have my resume. And Richard Kniff, the manager at that time, he was from Montreal.
Wow, meant to
So
be.
he knew I was from Montreal. He gave me the job after. So I gave him my resume, told him I'm going to go do the interview. If I get the job, I'll let you know. Boom, boom, boom. And that was that. Like,
Dope.
things
Quick.
have always worked out good, you know?
Nice. So what part of TO were you living in?
Oh, man, I moved around. First, I was in Pacific Mall. So, like,
I know exactly. Markham.
Kennedy
Isn't that
and
Markham?
McNichol, yeah.
I
Kennedy
used to go there and
McNichol.
get all the bootleg DVDs
Oh,
and all
man,
that.
yo, that's when I was exposed to that. I was like, this
5 for
exists,
20. That
and
was the
it's right
shit.
here.
And you know what I used to cop up there? They had this one spot and they had like the ill designer shit. You remember that? I copped the iceberg leather in Pacific Mall for like $400. It was like the flyest shit I ever saw. I
Yeah.
said, shit, I don't know if it's real. I hope it
don't
is, but
exist.
I'll still buy it. you
Yeah,
know?
those were the days.
That was
man.
like Pacific Mall were the first people to have
think they
vape and all
closed-
that shit.
I think they actually closed. They got raided. I seen something in the news recently.
Pacific
something
Mall
happened
was
over
the
there.
shit, bro.
Where was Pacific Mall?
That was like Markham.
Markham?
And then I moved to like Birchmount and Eglinton. I had some fun times there. Kennedy and Eglinton. I was
You had the
there for a bit.
downtown spot.
Yeah,
near
the downtown spot.
right?
And then I lived, me and Rez, we had a spot downtown Toronto. That's where the studio was, and that's when I started to do the rap thing.
Did you ever get a chance to work with, or did you know Tory Lanez at all? I know
Oh, bro,
he was
the story
coming up
with
at the
Tory
same
Lanez,
time.
I wanted to manage Tory Lanez. Like my boy M City who lives in Brampton. Shout out everybody from B Town. He went to school with Tory, and he would always like play his music, and like I'm like, yo, the kid, I like his attitude. Like he's confident and shit, right? And he came out with this song called Twitter, and I wanted to work with him. And when he said he denied me because he was working with Freddie Fame at that time.
Okay.
Right? And I was like, I like this kid. Like, he's just like saying no to shit. Like he don't need no help, no nothing. And then boom, Nigga blew up, you know. I mean, that's my story with Tory. He obviously, I got a story where he bit my line where I said I'm the shit and fly on top of it. He put that in a rap, and I heard that, and I was like, yo, this nigga really jacked my shit. so now when
And he didn't want to work with you.
and now that I see like all the artists saying, yo, he jacked my shit, I'm like, yo, that's, you know, but like, I don't hold that on nothing, you know. I've jacked
No,
some
you know what
shit.
happened?
Plus, you know, in all fairness, he was a young kid at the time.
Yeah, man, but
He was a
no,
young
it's
kid
like
at
I
the
said, like, I always knew it
was
makes
gonna be a
sense
guy.
where he's at right now.
Fame.
It
You saw
definitely
that
makes
drive.
sense. Oh, yeah.
Fame. A lot of times you hear something, it's subliminal, and then you put it as yours, and then someone else is like, wait a minute, that's mine. Do you know what I mean?
No, I'm not clear.
Like you write something, you
Right.
think it's yours, but you heard it subliminally through someone else.
Oh, right.
And then they're like, yo, that's mine.
Nah. Tory, for sure. Everybody at that time, Drake was listening to my raps. I was listening to Tory's raps.
Yeah.
Tory was listening to Era raps. Era was
Yeah.
listening to Toner raps. Toner was listening to Rich Kid. We were all listening to each other's raps.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you
He
had a
clearly
hot
jacked
line
the
and he
shit,
bit it, is what
you
you're
know?
saying.
But like, yeah, that was my experience with Tory. Same thing with Drake. Like Drake, it's a weird relationship because there's a song actually, boom. So it's called the Voltrons. Oh, Rosenberg
Okay.
on Hot 97. Maybe you could pull up the clip. But he does an interview with Drake where Rosenberg was doing Wu Gambino's compilation, and he wanted to put 5 artists from Toronto on it. So it was me, Cardinal, Socrates, Choclair, and it was supposed to be Drake's verse, right?
What year is this around?
Ooh, bro, man, I'm horrible with years.
Pre-Stylus Awards.
If I started rapping in
Pre-Stylus Awards.
2008, so
10,
it was
12?
2010 maybe?
Yeah. Before Drake pop.
Yeah, before.
So
this
maybe
happened just when
08.
Drake popped.
Maybe 08.
Yeah, I seem to catch every artist right before they pop. Same thing with Melanie Fiona. I had a song that is a typical girl, and then Aya hopped on it because that's when Kanye picked her up and she went. Like right before everybody drops, they bum.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to get the feature and they're gone. Anyway, so the Rosenberg, when you run that clip, Rosenberg talks about a verse that Drake was supposed to give, and he's like, yo, talk to D about that, right? Because his verse was missing on it. And I have the song. I mean, I'll actually give it to you guys, and you could post it wherever. It's
play
a
it in the
fucking
background,
exclusive.
something like that.
Okay.
Like an exclusive of it, missing the Drake verse, right? So I remember seeing him at the club, and like, you know, he's like, yo, Fame, I got you. Like, he gave me a little poke on my chest. Fame, I got you. And I was like, okay, this nigga got me. And then boom, he never got me, right? So it never came. But like, I don't stress nothing. I get it. You got a situation now. Other people are watching your moves. You can't be doing shit for anything, right?
Sure.
But like, that's a good example. But then JJ Jenny had a party, and then that's when I seen him, and you know, it was all the blessed thing. Like, whenever you see your brother like doing the same shit as you, and you make it,
Of course.
and then you know the people in the circle around, yo, Rico, everybody knows OVO rocks. Like, his cousin is right here.
Shout out to Rico in the building.
Of course. Well, you
Shout out
know,
to Rico in the building,
you know, the
right?
scene has always been small, and you know, I always say that so many people got so many tremendous opportunities off the light that
Yeah.
Drake shined on Toronto,
Yeah, man.
and none more than the producers. You know,
Yeah. Well, yo, I always tell people this. Boy Wonder created the Toronto sound. This is just my opinion.
But there was a few guys who I worked with on my second record, The Book of Bless, such as Snaz, such as
Snaz.
Frank Dukes.
Right.
So, you know, there's a
Oh,
couple
Frank
guys who
Dukes,
are already
right.
pretty fucking nice.
Right.
And they were getting placements early.
Right.
Frank
Yeah,
Dukes
they
did
were.
some shit with me, and then he had a Cool G rap and a 50 and a Mob D placement.
What's her name? The girl there. Taylor Swift.
Oh, he's doing great. He
Yeah,
did that whole
album.
Havana, oh,
Yeah,
na,
yeah,
na,
yeah.
that shit. He's
Yeah,
killing
it's
it.
crazy, right?
And he was a really, you know, sample. He was
Yeah.
like an MPC guy.
Right.
So to see his evolution from doing dirty sample-based
Yeah.
hip hop that
To
like
loud
Mob
commercial.
Deep and AZ and like 50
Yeah.
would put on a mixtape or whatever
Right.
to doing, you know, top of the pops, you know, salute to him.
Yeah,
So
it
there
is
was
a good
quite a
look for
few.
him.
But yes, of course, you know, Wanda is.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
Fame. I mean, we didn't discuss that we're friends
Yo, I
prior.
was at the airport the day before Drake dropped. If you hear, what's the name of that tape? If you're hearing now, Too Late or whatever.
Yeah.
Best I ever was.
No.
Not the first one.
No, if you're hearing this, it's Too Late. The Drake album. I was at the airport coming from, I don't know where I was coming from. And I seen Boy Wonder, and he had it on his phone, and he played me. I was running through the 6 with my woes. Now here's the whole thing when you just think about reality. For me, I take shit like that and I'm like, that's crazy that I knew this the day before it came out, that I know this guy, that he is my brethren. I've been in his basement. He's playing me this. And then the next day when I wake up, the internet is going crazy.
It's a worldwide release.
Like, for me, I'm just sitting back and I'm like, fuck, man. It just feels good.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it feels good. Do I wish that I could have been more successful in the Canadian scene? Yeah. I mean, everybody wishes they could be more successful at anything they do, right? Am I happy and totally successful in where I'm at now? Totally.
Love you, brother.
Yeah. You know, and like, I'll tell some artists right now. That's why I always try to peep artists on game, right? Because like, for me, the most money I've ever made off raps is selling raps having my raps on TV and in music, right?
Placements,
licensing, right? So like, I'm telling artists right now, if you just have raps and a producer, go in your crib, make a whole bunch of songs about shit, about basketball, about New Year's, time running out. Just write raps, connect with somebody who places your music, get your shit placed, and that shit's royalties. That's right. The thing with the music industry, right? We're so patient. Because we spend all our money on us, and then we gotta wait for our money.
Yes.
Right? So we're patient with our shit, right? So it's like we should be able to take that mind frame and plant seeds and watch them grow, right?
Absolutely.
So that's why I tell any artist, peep me on game, hit me up. That's my biggest shit, right? That's what I feel I want to contribute to the game, right?
A lot of people don't realize that, you can make an entire living from placing your music and, film, TV, video games, shit like that, you might not be on the top of the charts. You might not be spinning at commercial radio, but you could really make a full-time realistic living off of these other side avenues. And I think that so many artists, become overwhelmed by the enormous undertaking that there's so much you could be doing.
So much.
Should I be the flyest? Should I be the most lyrical? Should I be the most commercial? Should I produce? Should I fucking, you know what I'm saying? And should I tour? And the answer is, A, you got to find a niche for yourself, like you're doing right now. B, it has to be profitable enough at least to support yourself before you can conquer the world.
Exactly.
And there's steps to that. And there's no shame in taking those steps.
None whatsoever.
Sacrifice.
It's always sacrifice.
Leaving that ego aside.
That's one of the
big
biggest things, leaving the ego. And that's That's why I don't know. It would be hard for me to like come back and try to live in like be in an entertainment where ego
I know
is
you.
that high.
Fame.
Because it's just not me. I don't give a shit. Like, I just don't know if I could do that. It's weird. It's like I asked the other day, could somebody be an extrovert, introvert, It's like I love being out there, but me and people, I don't like, if they care, I care. But if we're having conversations where none of us care, we shouldn't be having this conversation.
I think a major thing that always kept our scene back locally is this mentality where everybody wanted to be the guy.
I think that's everywhere though.
Competitive nature of hip hop, yes. But you got to understand that Atlanta fucks with Atlanta. And the Spanish, the reggaeton and all that shit, they fuck with each other. That's how everybody gets up. Collabs.
Right.
You know
but I think
mean?
that's a person thing too. I think like people in Atlanta are friendlier. Black people are more united. There's a culture of black people.
Especially in Atlanta.
Yeah. So, it's
very unified in Atlanta.
Why is that?
Well, I think it's demographics. Atlanta is a city that has, a huge black population, huge entertainment, business there. And the money gets spent internally in Atlanta. So they're doing well.
Right.
It's not like Detroit or like other places. And this was just a breeding ground for creativity. It's the South. It's its own vibe too. Right. You know what I mean? And it's South. It's American, bro.
The whole thing is with Canada giving all this money, I feel there is a way to create that type. You're able to do it, but I don't know. Are hip hop artists getting grants still, or is that still something that goes to the rock bands? And in Montreal, the French acts.
In Quebec, definitely the French. In Ontario, I'm sure people are still applying like crazy.
Right,
I don't know what the politics are these days. And I know a lot of, much music not being, active anymore. That changed the system too.
That's
big
like
time.
real
Games
shit.
changed.
Think about that, right?
things changed big time.
Yeah,
You remember
man.
when Much Music, there was a sense of pride to be
Yeah,
on
I
Much
remember- I
Music.
remember
You
Much-
know,
yeah.
to be on Much Music and to have a commercial release at HMV or
Yeah,
at
yeah.
retail was a big deal.
Yeah.
It made people excited.
Yeah.
You know, and traditional campaigns were like you had your advertisement in whatever weekly hip hop shit. You had your campaign at retail. You did your shit on Rhapsody and you covered the
Right.
market.
Yeah, yeah.
And now it's fucking endless. So
Right.
it's a double-edged sword.
Can I jump
Right.
in? Can I jump in? I remember when Ain't No Use came out fame.
Yeah.
And I was in the video. And this is before I'm on YouTube, before I'm on anything.
yeah.
Nice.
And I'm on MTV. Much Music, excuse me.
Yeah. Nice.
And I thank you.
It's
I just
a
wanted to
real
say
thing,
that.
right? It's just like this real thing.
Oh, that's the one you did shirtless.
Thank you. No.
Right,
But-
but then, like I said, then you look back at it, and then you look at your account, and you look at like, okay, what's really going on, and then you just gotta switch it up.
So let me ask you something.
Yeah.
And this is something like obviously we're friends.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you jumped ship right before shit popped off?
I definitely was at a high when I
Right?
jumped off.
Like maybe the financials we covered, but as far as like the growth and what's happened since you've left,
Yeah.
Do you like? Is there a part of you that's like maybe is there a regret in a way?
No, man,
Good. That's what I want to hear.
Once Drake bust,
It's
like,
game
it
over
was
for
a
everybody.
Shutdown for I don't know how many years. Let's say 3 guaranteed years. 5, 3 guaranteed years shutdown, where it's like nothing else mattered
Right.
about nothing but
You can't
Drake.
even talk Drake's name without him hearing about
Yeah,
it.
nothing mattered. Your song, nothing was anything. You know, for a good 3 years solid, and that was like the time when I was at my high. So I like caught that shit quick.
And what's
You
your
know?
relationship? I'm curious. Like I never asked you these questions.
The relationship with.
with Drake and the whole
I mean, like
VO
I said,
camp.
it's cool. It's all love. You know, we do the parties.
You were
for
out there at the same
Caravana.
time. Like you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
must have crossed.
It's all love,
paths,
man.
right?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I never gone out and hang with the homie. I don't have his cell phone, but I'm sure I could get to him quick if I needed to. Like, you know, I mean, none of that is really relevant to me, you know,
Right.
until it's relevant. You know,
Well, you never know speaking of, who comes through Taiwan? Like I imagine
Oh,
guys like
artists,
Black
right?
Eyed Peas and shit
Okay, so
like
let's
that.
see. A lot of man, who comes through?
Like who have you gotten a chance to perform with or done the after party with or tour with and from out
that's-
here?
Does that exist out there? Is that like, are there touring artists that are going into Taiwan?
No, man. I mean, I
No,
think the
it's
last
more like
show I saw out
local?
There was Ariana Grande,
Okay.
Bruno Mars, John Legend.
So the top of the pops.
Yeah, that's the top of the pops, man.
Hip hop
I
shit.
think. Oh, there was a Wu-Tang show like 2 years ago.
Fucking Wu-Tang gets. You know, we just had Raekwon
I know,
a couple
I know.
months
Yeah,
back.
yeah, he-
When he was walking up the steps,
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
yo, Raekwon walked up those steps.
I'm sure you must have met Ray many
yeah,
times in
yeah,
Toronto. I used to come out there with him all the
Right.
time.
He was big with JD Era and the
Yeah,
whole.
he used
He
to
actually
come
just
out to
opened a
tour all the
barber
time.
shop in Toronto.
Yes.
I see that.
Purple Tape Barber Shop. Shout out to Raekwon.
They
right?
opened it the week after he came on the podcast.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Salute Ray, man. He always showed love to Canada. And that even speaks to how, powerful having a cult following is.
Right. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wu-Tang is also a brand out there. Like I don't know how many of those kids like
That W
they
means something.
definitely don't. Yeah, that
They
means
they
something.
into the merch.
Yeah, they're into, like, you know.
They might not know the catalog, but they're
Yeah, and
into
I
the
think
merch.
like the maybe 400, 500 people came out to it, which is a good number. Like I don't
It's
expect.
fucking Taiwan
Yeah, that's
for
what
some
I'm
hip hop
saying,
shit.
right?
That's cool.
But I think Wu was like probably on a hip hop level. Oh, OT Genesis like MC'd and did a few songs.
That's
Okay.
very random.
Yeah, OT Genesis.
I like
right?
OT Genesis.
I like him too, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying Taiwan,
Yeah,
crip
it's
walking.
very
is-
What the fuck you doing out there,
wild.
homie? Did you take care of him, Fame?
I mean, I wasn't at
Pause.
the show. But yeah, it's crazy. Like Drake is not popular out in Asia.
Really?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm sure he's never done a show.
What about guys like Sean Paul and shit like that?
Oh yeah.
Like
But-
the Latin stuff works out there?
Yeah, the
They
Latin
must.
stuff just catching on now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the hype shit in my
It's just
opinion.
the stuff that make
K-pop
you
and shit like that? Does that
That's real heavy too.
heavy,
Oh, of
right?
course.
Oh yeah, that's like the number one.
Yes.
What's the boy band that kills it?
There's like VIP. There's
No, B2K, no, it's like
No, I know what you're talking about.
BTS.
They're like
oh
five.
yeah. BTS.
Oh,
BTS.
those
So
guys,
check this out.
Those guys.
Yeah,
So check
BTS.
this out. So peep game. So I saw an article about how the Latin and the K-pop is, how everybody's, they're breaking Justin Bieber records, and how is this unprecedented success happening? And supposedly the industry is now catching up that basically, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, Lemmy, but in what they call secondary markets, which would be, Asia, Latin countries, anything outside of, North America, it is 5 times cheaper to buy a view when you were advertising on YouTube. And what they were doing is they were marketing by basically taking a 15-second clip from the music video
and replaying,
putting it at the beginning of whatever the competition is that's already big. And if you didn't, skip
as
the
an
paid
advertisement,
ad, it counts as a view. And they would put like $100,000 on the first day. They would shoot up to the top of the algorithm, buy the first 10 million views, and it would automatically go to 300 million.
That is genius.
But it's genius, but it only works in the secondary markets,
Right.
which is why you don't see, like a Fat Joe with Cardi B and fucking Annuel is
but a
getting
guy-
less views than K-pop. And then you're thinking, it must be working more, but it's not possible.
I love that, Bless. How does a guy like Nav pop off in India and Pakistan with that same 100K?
Does he?
I'm just asking. Like, that's the exact same thing.
Nav is popping because of his affiliations to The Weeknd. He's on tour with
India,
The Weeknd.
I
don't think he does.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm looking at what you just said, and I'm like,
but to
how
answer
does
your
this guy
question,
put 100K into
to answer
India?
your question, 100K for Nav's team would be pennies. They're doing very well.
Fair. You're right.
They would do it if it was profitable.
You're right.
And the labels lose money on that 100K or 250K, whatever the fuck they're doing. They lose the money. But they are then able to force commercial radio to add the record. And then they're like, yo, get our guys on these guys have 1 billion views, get our guys on Saturday Night Live, crossover. So they kind of had a little cheat code going, but people seem to be catching up.
That's a move.
It's common industry practice in the Spanish and the K-pop shit.
Oh, yeah?
But it doesn't work here, or everybody would do it.
No, you need a third or second.
It just has to be cheaper based on, whatever.
Right. I had a buddy of mine, shout out to the Punjabi MC, and what he would do is he'd release a show, and he's a brown dude, and he'd put like $20-$30 on Facebook, but just targeting India.
Yeah.
And next thing you
And the
know,
numbers would be
next thing
crazy.
you know, he's got 5,000 views.
I see what you're
for
saying.
$20.
Yeah.
But the problem is that
Yeah,
that looks cool,
Yeah.
but if it's not translating, the whole point of releasing content or music or whatever you're trying to do is to grow your market so you can
It's not a real
sell them
audience.
shit. It's not a real audience.
like-
It's
you
not.
know?
It's just it's fluffing the numbers.
But in the secondary markets, it's a real enough audience where it can translate them to the American
So
markets.
our plan was to get him in India doing live performances of this kind of rant and rave show where he just talks his mind and goes live. And we said, if we can get like 20, 30, 100,000 people consistently, maybe we have a show. But we're putting like $50 and we're getting 20,000 views. You do that in Los Angeles or New York, you're getting 12 views.
But that's kind of proof of what I'm saying is true, right? That, $50
But I also
gets
think,
him.
but the good thing about music-wise of all that shit is like you're hearing Latin records on the radio. I think that's beautiful to hear like Latin songs on the radio.
Oh, absolutely.
We
for
spoke on that
K-pop
briefly.
To be like a thing with Chinese kids.
I think it's great.
It's like
and
music going all around, right?
plus, the time is right for all these cultures to be able to melt with social media
right?
and all that shit.
And they're all collaborating too. It's like, remember back in the days, like hearing a collab was like something you never heard. And when you heard the collab, you're like, I can't believe that shit.
That this guy would work with
Now
that
it's
guy.
like literally languages collabing.
Yeah.
You know? That's
And
all.
then that speaks to looping into what you first talked about, that guys like us were so concentrated on being lyricists.
Right.
And then we saw, hey, they don't even care what you're saying. And then being amazing became sort of a creepy liability in some areas. And then they didn't even need to understand the language anymore.
That's
Did you ever
exactly
see
it,
that
bro.
shit coming?
That's exactly
Like, we don't
it.
even want to know what the fuck you're
that's
saying.
exactly it. I seen all that shit.
Rap in Korean, motherfucker.
Yeah.
They don't care.
I'm rapping in Chinese, fam.
Literally. It's Mandarin.
Literally,
It's Mandarin.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
Fame, it's Mandarin, right?
Mandarin, yeah.
Mandarin. And I'm going to say you're the only black guy on the planet that's rapping in
Well, that's
Mandarin.
how I marketed
He might
it.
not be, though.
I marketed it.
Inevitably, there might be.
He might not be, but I
marketed it
want to
as
believe
the
that
first,
he's...
black man to have a rap in
You
Chinese.
can coin it. You can.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
You can coin it. We'll let him have that
Yeah,
one.
let me have it. You know?
You can have it. But hey, man, I think that's a really fucking interesting lane. And you know, in business in general, you got to try shit, bro.
Okay, hold on, Bless. I got a question for you. Who's top 3 in Montreal ever?
You got the
top
wrong guy.
3.
Ask me.
Dylan.
No, can I say something? Can I say something? And we're gonna get off topic. I love Bless. Bless is not a Montreal rapper. Bless
Hold
is
on.
a universal rapper.
I want 3 dopest and like the not 3 dopest.
Bless,
the 3
bless, and
most
bless.
successful as far as career goes.
Montreal.
Montreal rappers.
Okay, go. Bless. I would say Bless one. No, you know what?
I don't
Shout
talk
out-
like that
hold on,
about
can I-
myself.
can I say
No,
And
no,
something?
you know
you
what?
have to. If that's,
You know
I don't
what?
think it's talking about yourself. If,
Look, I'll say this.
Go.
I'll say
You
there's
first.
a lot of talented guys, bro. And by no means was I the first guy rapping or the last guy rapping in Montreal.
who else was rapping? That's what I'm trying to find
There
out.
was a lot of
Give me-
people.
Like, who's the next name that I should know?
Okay, when I was a kid, like pre my time,
Yeah.
there was Shades of Culture, there was Chuck Ice, there was Dubmatic on the French
Matic.
side,
I
remember
there was
them.
Rain Man,
Sans
there was all
Pression.
kinds, there was Sans Pression.
Sans Pression, I remember them
Then
too. Right?
then I came
And
about
were they French?
French, yeah. But I'm
Okay,
mixing
so hold
everybody.
on. English. I'm talking English.
English,
Bless
you had
showed
Shades
up.
of Culture.
Bless showed up.
You had Chuck
Shades of
Ice.
Culture, Chuck
you
Ice.
had a lot of people, bro. You had a lot of groups that might not have
But a name that I would. That somebody would know.
Fame. Can I
locally
divert?
there was.
Go.
No,
so let me divert.
Get the name.
Okay, so let me divert to me for a second.
Who was?
Because-
Can you say?
No, I can. Bad News Brown is the
Absolutely.
best. Is number
Okay,
one.
right.
Absolutely.
It's not even close. Okay?
Absolutely.
And my number 2 is Lo Pesci. Lo Pesci's a rapper's rapper. He's a battle rapper. He's
Okay,
been
There was,
around.
there,
I would not
but
put
you're
Lil Pesci
talking
in there,
about
so-
is there's a lot of guys who were talented and there was a lot of guys rapping.
Bad News
but,
won.
But I think like what you were saying was I was perceived to not be from Montreal because I actually had record deals and worked with Gangstar
Right.
and was in a video game
Fame.
and
Right.
went to
But I
Toronto.
would say you were
and,
from Montreal. I put you in as a Montreal rapper.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
you're from Montreal,
Yeah, absolutely.
right?
And I repped Montreal
Right.
the whole time.
So now I bring that. to
But
say this.
locally, there was a lot of people besides me. Locally, they just weren't all on
English
much
rappers?
music. They just were. I mean, there was
Who else was on Much Music?
there was my boy from he
I'll
used to
say
rhyme.
names.
He used to rhyme with Arcade. Malicious had a couple videos on Much
Yeah,
Music.
I remember him.
There was
I don't know him.
I remember.
You're right.
That guy.
On the radio. He was on the
Blackstock,
radio.
you guys shout out my boy Malicious. There was
Okay, you want my names? I got one. Magnum 357. Later
Magnum? Yeah, shout out
Magnum.
Magnum.
Okay.
Blicky Eye Blast.
Okay, so
Yeah,
These are
shout
guys
out.
that are good.
Listen,
These are barring out
me,
guys.
This is where I come in. I say all that to say this, right?
Okay, go.
Because I often hear, Fame, you're from Toronto, but you ain't from Toronto, you're from Montreal, right? So the way I think to myself, right, I have to look at myself and say, nigga, I might as well just say I'm from Montreal and class myself as
The best rapper
the
ever.
most successful rapper to fucking come out of Montreal. And I could damn near bring that as facts. Right?
Right?
Like I'm
Right?
just basing
Right.
it off radio play videos, awards,
not arguing.
touring, international vibe, media, right? I don't know about sales. Maybe for sure there's probably English rapper.
It's you and Bless.
right?
That's it.
And that's why I asked him that question, because I couldn't think of another one. And I never have.
Look at him sit back all pretty.
When I thought about this,
What do you want me to say? People are gonna get mad if I start saying
bro.
well, who do you think is me?
Oh, come on, B. I just came in here.
I mean, look,
like
I'm prideful that I know I did things for our city that
Yeah.
nobody did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I brought American artists who we grew up listening to Montreal to
Exactly.
work with
I
us.
bought your album in stores before I knew you, homie.
But there was other people like A-Track, of course.
A-Track,
You know,
correct,
he DJ'd
yeah,
for
yeah.
Kanye and produced a lot of
Yeah.
shit. You know what I mean? Chromeo did their thing also. So, you know, I can't say I was
Yo,
the
shout out
only
Tommy
one.
Cruise. Tommy Cruise did some big fucking moves.
But that was
He's been
way
on the
after
show.
me.
After.
That was way after.
But I'm just saying, there's guys like.
Oh, and there's still, I mean, there's of course there's Husser, there's you
yeah.
know, there's you know,
K-Tran?
tons of kids that are
K-Tran?
coming up now. K-Tran is huge.
Right?
There's tons
These
of
are
kids now.
Montreal
But
dudes.
he's some more talking about from our era,
Yeah,
like the
exactly.
Drakes, like us,
Yeah.
Drake, Cardi before us. You
Right.
know, like in Toronto, you might be right because it was me and Cardi that EMI was sending out, and we were doing all our rollout for our albums together.
Exactly.
It was just me and Cardi at that time.
It was
you
him and
know.
Cardi. That's it, fame.
Yeah, I'm telling
Like
you
back
this,
then?
bro. So yeah, I
And
put
you
that
even
out
came
there.
a little bit after us, like, because
Yeah.
you came in 08. My
Yeah.
first shit came out in 03.
Oh yeah.
By the time '08 rolled around, I was already starting to like produce a little with my boy, do some
Okay.
electronic shit. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I took a little break for 2 years, but I
Right.
always kept my foot in it
Hold
because
on.
we loved the
You
shit.
bought some shirts with some sequins on them. Some band
sequin
shirts.
The
Some
which
band
one?
shirts with the sequins.
Which one? You talking about in the Jim Jones
Right,
era?
we gotta get
in
rid of those.
07 in the balling,
I
the
remember
V-necks
those.
with the chains.
I remember those.
But that
I
was the
remember
hustler
those.
gear, man. We used to go to Vancouver. And in the year Jim Jones dropped balling, everybody had the Ed Hardy
Yeah, the
and,
Ed Hardy,
the
yeah,
fucking
yeah. The
right,
Balmain jeans
yeah,
or
all that
whatever.
shit. And you know, with the fucking Louis Mann purses, and we would try and go to the club, you know, in Vancouver, whatever, and that was considered gang attire.
yeah. That
They
was
were not
even
even letting us in.
Montreal, like-
Yeah, man. That was the startup kit.
Yeah.
You had a red Canada Goose. You had a deep V-neck T-shirt,
Yeah.
a Breitling iced out,
Yeah.
some Nike Shocks,
Yeah.
and some fucking wide leg True Religion jeans.
True Religion. That was it. True Religion.
And you weren't shit if you didn't have
Yeah.
that. You couldn't fuck no strippers if you didn't have that.
Yeah.
You couldn't pop no bottles. You were nobody in the club if you didn't have that.
I still got the jeans, by the way.
Which ones?
I still got those big boy like $800 jeans.
You know,
They're
speaking
sitting
of
with,
though, you know
with the
who
white stitch.
Yo, I seen Travis Scott bring back, and I know you'll remember this, the Evisu jeans.
Evisu.
Oh yeah, he did.
Evisu. Remember Jay-Z? These ain't Evisu. These ain't Diesel. These is Evisu.
Yeah.
So we were tripping for Evisu because it was Japanese shit. And Corey Shapiro, shout out your boy Corey.
shout out Corey.
And he fucking was helping me, like develop merch and shit like that at the
Yeah.
time. And he got a job at Evisu here in Canada. And we used to run through
Yeah.
there. We were like, yo, give us the cashmere
Yeah.
sweaters, Corey, you fucker. Don't hold out on us. We had Evisu coming out of the yin yang. Then I threw all that shit out because it was all baggy.
Right.
Don't I see Travis Scott rocking the SB Dunks
Yeah, I seen
and
that.
the
He got his
baggy
own-
Evisus, bro?
Yeah, right.
It's all
I'm
back.
like,
It's all back.
son.
Yeah, it's all back, and you knew something like that would come back too.
Have
I
you
had
guys
that
seen
by
my
the
jacket?
boatload,
Have you
bro.
seen my jacket? I'm
one?
rocking an inaugural season Toronto Raptors jacket.
Oh, I did. I love
and
that.
and everyone
I love that.
stops me and they're like, "I love this jacket."
shit's
I'm like,
hard.
"I'm a Knicks fan. Shut up."
That shit is hard. That we used to rock the Raptor 6s, the Jordan Raptor 6s. We had that in the club, and I'd go to the Jamaican parties, and motherfuckers will always be spilling drinks on the dance floor, and it had the black suede toe, and I'd be like crying when I got home because the suede rubbed off. You know what I mean? And those were good times. The Raptor 6s was one of my favorite Jordans of all time.
Really?
Yeah, I rebought them like 3 times after because they got ruined every time.
All right, Fame. Top 3 Jordans. Let's go.
Man,
Are you
yo.
a Jordan guy first? of
Yeah,
all?
well, that's the thing. I'm not. Yo, I've just removed myself. I swear, it's like I did this healing cleaning, like being out in Asia, where it's like I don't care about shit like that.
Boom.
And fuck, I
Minimal,
don't fucking care. I know I wear threes, you know, like
Threes are hard.
I know I wear
It's
threes.
funny because I know we're from the same school. Threes are my favorite Jordans
Right,
of all
and
time.
that's what I'm saying.
The black cement threes or even the
Yeah.
white ones. But the
Right.
black cement threes are the best
Right.
of all time. Second to the 4s,
Right.
the 5s, the 1s, and then the 11s.
I'm
And
an
everybody
11.
always
I'm an
clowns me
11
because I
guy.
like that many.
Right.
But
and I'm
all
down
the
with my
other-
Concords too.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Concord,
Right?
the 11s. The
So it's
Concords.
like, but like, fuck. That shit don't matter to me, man. Because
Good.
when you work at Champ Sports for what, 3 years? I don't know how long I was there.
What did you guys
actually
have?
try
What's the
comfortable
discount? Is it
shit.
like 30%?
Oh,
you guys
me,
have
I
the
used
employee?
to. That's how I.
You'd hoard the sales shit and then get the employee discount.
Oh, me, I get the employee discount. All the hood kids, everybody used to come check me. I used to be in the hood, not even know I was in the hood. So I heard it till I started rapping and hearing that was the hood. I used to be in there with boxes on Christmas Day. I give you the discount. You give me the money. I used to buy you the shoes with my discount.
Oh, hell
Make
yeah.
a little thing. Yo,
Right?
I was really like a Santa Claus in the hood. bro.
Universally,
everything.
I think that's why everybody works at Champs and Foot Locker.
Yeah, and like working
It's
at
not-
Flow too. So all those people, they knew me through Flow, but then they also knew me through Scarborough Town. Like that's how I got a good grasp and love and appreciation for Toronto because I was like out there. Like,
Champs was the
literally
shit
out
too
there.
because at that time there was no Champs in Quebec.
Oh, exactly.
So we
yes.
used to look at Champs like almost like an
Right.
American shit.
Yeah, it was,
We would
it
go.
was.
I'd buy 10 pairs
Yeah,
every
it
time I was in Toronto
it was.
from Champs.
Bishop, that Bishop, all these guys used to all with the whole OVO squad. would
Shout out
always just
Brigante.
come through
Yeah, shout out
Scarborough.
Bishop.
Yeah, shout out Bishop.
We'll get him on the show
come
eventually.
Through Scarborough Town and like just to see like everybody was like real dudes, like man them.
Yeah.
Like that's what I always loved about Toronto. Everybody's like a man them,
Yeah.
Like everybody's good.
You know, I do have to say, from a cat being from Montreal that would go out there,
I always got nothing but love
Yeah,
from Toronto.
I ain't never had
It
beef
was like
with
my
nobody.
second home.
Yeah.
Everybody in the business was so encouraging,
Yeah.
even more so than back home sometimes. Because back home, everybody knew me from the street. You know, this guy's cousin went to school with me. And
yeah.
You know, I was always around.
That's
So-
Montreal, though. That's Montreal.
So it's not to say I was more known in Toronto because I knew everybody here or everybody knew me here, but they embraced me quicker in Toronto
Right.
because they understood what the fuck we were trying to do earlier.
What you're trying to do.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's from all our
Can I say
ghetto
what-
concept.
Bless,
Yeah.
because
Snow, all these guys
Yeah,
showed me
yeah.
mad love back
Bless
in the
because
day.
there was an industry out there. When
Yes.
you guys started, like
Yeah,
there was
there
an
was.
actual industry
Yeah.
in Toronto
Oh, there was.
where like it wasn't the internet era.
But
it was-
believe it or
No, but-
not,
okay, go.
there was a real, sorry to cut you off, there was a
No.
real camaraderie amongst like,
Artists.
you had Rascals from Vancouver
Yeah, there
or, you
was.
know, us coming out there or him or whoever, but there was a camaraderie.
Yeah.
It wasn't really no bullshit. Like
Yeah,
people
I
were like,
never
yo,
felt that
come on, let's
either.
go out tonight, you know?
Yeah.
It was
I always-
love, man.
I always felt like Montreal is a beautiful place to create, to be artistic.
Yes.
But once you have a product, you got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but it's
you gotta
hard.
you got to
You
sell
say
it
that?
somewhere else.
It's a demographic problem. That's all it is.
There's no major industry. There's nothing here. There's no Sony. There's no YouTube. There's no nothing. It's you go to Toronto, you go to Vancouver, you go to
So
LA.
hold on, did you just figure that out?
No. This has been happening for a long time.
Holy.
This is something we
I
always
feel-
knew, which is why I stayed on the road.
Right. And I think Fame left in what, like 97?
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah. This
Originally, you moved to TO for school or just to straight up switch
for
it
the
up?
internship.
Okay,
For
you
the
went there for that.
internship, you know, right out of college.
Where did you go to high school in Montreal?
I went to Pierrefonds Comprehensive.
He was
Okay, so
my
you were in
bitter
the West.
rival.
Yeah, bitter rivals. That's
We
why
used to play
played
ball and,
yeah.
like,
Is that
I
near
didn't
where
even
the
like
first
this dude.
Exclusivity was?
Yeah, right across
That's
the
where
street.
it was.
Yep.
Yo, we went
Yeah,
to
I
the first
remember when that
Exclusivity.
place opened.
Actually, somebody who was a manager at Champs when I was on the hunt for Jays was like, yo, go to this random place in the West Island. And I pull up to the strip mall and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Bizarro suburb shit is
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
I had
random.
I'd never been there in my life.
Bless,
Yeah.
that's where my condo was, on that same street.
Yeah,
I remembered
it was
later,
there.
but I mean, this is like, you know,
Years and years.
2000 and
Yeah.
fucking whatever. And I was like, wow. And it was
Same
actually
thing.
ahead of its time, though. They had a
Oh,
dope
yeah.
little shop.
100%.
And you were copying Jays there that you couldn't even get downtown. And I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
there
I
was
guess
lineups.
they just didn't.
Shout out to
Those lineups.
Cherry and what's the dude?
Cherry
owner?
and Trent.
And Trent. They
Trent.
hooked
Oh,
it
yeah,
up for me,
Trent.
man. Many
Absolutely.
times.
Trent. Oh, Trent.
Right?
Trent's long overdue to be on the show. I'm calling
get
you
Trent.
out, Trent. When are you coming
Hold
on, bro?
So y'all know Trent.
Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Tyler, yo, shame. Tyler worked for Exclusivity
Yeah.
at that location. He was one of their first employees.
But through music, I know Trent through music.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I thought he's a
yeah, I
model or
spent
something.
studio
I
nights-
don't know.
My first studio nights in Toronto was with Trent.
What was he
And
doing?
my homie Clint.
What was
Trent
Trent
was just
doing?
around. He just wanted to be down. He was dating. He was dating Lil Red from Flow 935 at that time. And
Oh, get outta
Yeah, and
here.
I was working at the station, Flow 935, and he started dating her.
I remember she interviewed us early, like me and Guru, when we first started
Yeah.
coming out there.
Red's been. Shout out to Red, man.
Yeah.
She's always been like an older like sister. I get mad.
Yeah,
with.
she was always mad cool.
Yeah. So, but that's how I knew Trent. So it's crazy. Like he wanted to get into music, but I think he was managing somebody, a Filipino artist or something. But I don't think he pursued it. So that's why last time I went there, I seen him in there. So I didn't know if he worked or if that was his joint. So that's his spot.
That's mega spots.
Yeah.
He has like 6 of them. or something.
6 locations, and he moved his shit, like his home base is in Toronto now. So he started in Montreal at that spot where I lived, and then 5, 6 locations.
When was the last time you spoke to him? When was the last time you spoke to him?
Actually, like a month ago, to get his ass on the
Right?
show.
Let's go, Trent.
To talk about
No, Trent-
how he built up his business.
I don't know if me and Trent ended off on a good note. That's the only thing. But I know I have nothing but love for anybody,
Right.
right? But
Respect-
all I know about
respect.
Trent is he was hyped. Like he was hyped. Like me and him had that same. Like he was hyped.
He's a
He had an
go-getter.
energy
He's
to him.
He's a
about his
go-getter,
bread.
absolutely.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, he went from that one little spot in that strip mall. He opened one close to downtown.
Notre Dame was the second one, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
I think.
Oh, you see, I didn't
Then he
even know all
popped them.
this.
Then he popped them up in some
So
suburbs.
Fame,
Yo, this
and
is
then
so
Toronto.
fun hearing this.
I'm in Toronto about a year ago,
Yeah.
and it starts pouring rain, and I'm wearing a pair of Jordan 13s in dark blue suede, and it starts raining. So I run into an Exclusivity, and I'm like, "Yo, just give me something." And I hit up my connects, and like next thing you know, Trent's got me like $60 Adidas with a like it looks like the shoes that like you wear in an NBA game. It's just like there's no front. It's like a slipper. $60. Hooked me up. These guys are great.
Through the line.
Thank you, Exclusivity.
I'm still mad. 8 years ago, LeBron Black History Month editions. I come in. I tell him, I'm coming back with the money at 7 o'clock.
It doesn't work like that, though.
It does for Bless. And Trent's my man, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you good. Trent loves you. Yes, cool. Blah 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 blah." Fucking come back and they sold it, bro. And I'm like, bro. And this is when the sneaker market was getting to like the pinnacle of the hype, the lineups and all that.
Yeah.
And I was so mad, bro. It was like the one that got away, But in on the flip, I probably got dozens and dozens and dozens
in
from
the
him
long
after.
run.
So
You're
we good. But it still hurts. Those Black History Month LeBrons still hurt to this day. I needed those. So what's next on the agenda for you, sir? When are you going back overseas?
I leave next week, and then I'm back in Taiwan. No, Macau. I'm doing New Year's Eve in Macau.
What's in Macau?
There's a restaurant, Sky Bar, best Sky Bar in all of Macau, called Sky 21.
Nice.
And I do their New Year's party. This is like my 4th year doing it. It's a dope vibe, best view in the city. You see
Sure, they
everything.
pay you properly on New
yeah,
Year's.
yo, man, Asia's nice.
There's a reason he's out there.
Yeah, there's a reason I'm out there.
course.
Thing is, I miss my people, but I think I still come down enough to get the feel of things. Like, I'm packing my weekend, chilling with the homies and my family and my friends and all that. So I still get what I need. But, as long as I still move around, I'm happy out there.
So are you planning to stay out there for the long haul no?
But I definitely have a place out there for the rest of my life.
We got things to discuss. Forget about long haul.
We got other things, right?
So your residency, tell us about your residency. Maybe they could check it out online.
Well, man, just the best thing is just follow me online, because
Please, tell them more.
at the Kid Famous, THEKIDFAM.
The
This
Kid.
camera right here, camera one. It's the Kid. The THEKIDFAMOUS.
Give me one more fame.
THEKIDFAMOUS. Right?
Kid Famous on Instagram.
Kid Famous, yeah.
Make sure you stay up with everything he's got going on. Thank you so much for coming, my
it's a
brother.
blessed thing.
Long overdue, and you're
It's a
welcome
blessed thing.
back every
It's a
time and
blessed
any
thing. It's a
time.
blessed thing.
The moment of truth, the Kid Famous, your boy Bless. Let me know. It's a wrap.
Represent one time on the M.I.C.